it was time to bid farewell to Davies Plains hut and begin our journey back to Buckwong campground and Tom Groggin. But before descending into the valley, we made a quick stop at the small mountain brook flowing at 1500 meters elevation. Making our way down to the creek, there were a few ruts and washouts to negotiate. Yeah guys, that's a high country swim. So far we've been spoiled. All of our swims were warm as, but this is here over 1500 meters up and it is freezing, officially freezing. Yeah, the closed section of Davies Plains trek. I think national parks underestimates the resourcefulness and willingness of four-wheel drivers to do what they need to do. We walked the 2.5 kilometer section and they had erosion, they had tree falls and so on, but clearly there have been quite a few four-wheel drivers through it and they do what is necessary. So the really deep washed out section, except one, all have detours and bypass tracks around, so no problem whatsoever. And yeah, look, it is a little bit harder track, I would say, but nothing crazy, not too different to quite a few other tracks in the Victorian high country. I mean, Sandy Creek track, for example, would be way harder than these. And I think, that's my opinion, the problem is that, you know, the politicians and maybe even the national park guys in offices somewhere in the city do not understand. My opinion, the easy solution, if they don't have the funds or the resources to maintain it, just put a closed sign on each end, but say access at your own risk to get the legalities out of the way, and maybe make it a single black diamond or so. I mean, there are plenty of other tracks with that same rating, and that way you have no problem instead of closing it for years. Four-wheel drivers will sort it out, and national parks really need to understand that what we do here in the high country is four-wheel driving. That is not stuff which needs to be accessible for everyone. The most people, or everyone out here, should have a four-wheel drive, should have some modifications. So we need tracks which are medium, we need easy tracks, and we also need harder tracks. And again, if national parks can't maintain this section here, just make it a hard track and everything is sweet. So really, I can't see it. It's not even a big challenge. It's a nice drive with a bit, with here and there a few technical bits where you have to look a little bit what you do, but yeah, perfectly doable by any half capable four-wheel driver and a half decent four-wheel drive. And if you're none of that, you probably shouldn't be out here by yourself. See, exactly. Yeah, it is one of Victoria's four-wheel drive's adventures. Exactly, it is an adventure. Yeah, guys, that happens if you have stuff too long in your drawer. I don't know, has been in there for a while, but it can. I saw these here. Now I opened it, and that seems to have cracked it open. Different color. So I won't eat it. Do have another one though. Thai Jim tuna. Let's see how that is. I know how that goes with my chili lime hummus. Yeah, very interesting. So we're here at Bakmon's camping area, and there were a few workers, so I strolled over. We were wondering what they're doing, and they were from national parks doing some soil studies for toilet, and they also had a local from the mob to oversee the whole operations. Yeah, and that was a fella named Luke, and yeah, we were all swimming in the river, or lying in the river more, and had probably half an hour conversation in the river, which was very good actually. Very nice fella, and we'll see. I gave him my card. Maybe we catch up again. I would love to do a bit of content with him, because yeah, he certainly seemed to have his head screwed on right, and yeah, it was very good to hear from him about country here and the area. So Dogman's hut. Standing beside the Murray River in Victoria's high country, Dogman's hut tells a unique story of frontier life. Built in 1964 for a government dog trapper, this simple tin shelter represents one of the last examples of huts built specifically for those who protected the high country from feral dogs. Today, this humble survivor of the 2007 bushfires welcomes modern adventurers to experience the same rugged landscape where Dogman once worked alone in the vast Australian wilderness. So Wayne praised this swimming hole down here. Was as excited as I've seen him.
Yes, very, very excited.
Let's have a look.
Look at that.
It is pretty damn good. And we're back at the Murray. So Wayne can be floating home.
Yes. Might take me a couple of days, but I'd eventually get there.
Job and Wayne opted to stay another night at Tom Groggin, while Kerry and I decided to push closer to home for a shorter final leg. The four of us enjoyed one last swim in the Murray River on the Victorian side. To get to the main Tom Groggin campground and back home, we needed to ford the Murray River on our return journey. But thankfully water levels were pretty low, which made the crossing easy. This Victorian high country trip served as another solid test for the Kenda Tyres, now roughly 8 months in use. Despite noticing one minor chip, expected given the loose rocky terrain we tackled in the high country, they performed pretty well. They delivered reliable traction across various conditions, and considering their price point, have proven to be a sound investment. Is anyone else running the Kenda MT tires? Let me know in the comment section. I'm keen to hear what you think about them. And with that, our high country adventure draws to a close. While several tracks we planned to drive were inaccessible due to national parks, what I reckon are unjustified closures, we adapted and made the most of our 6 days in the bush. The forced detours led us to some spectacular spots we might have otherwise missed. The Victorian High Country never disappoints, even when bureaucracy tries to limit access. That's the reality of four-wheel driving these days. Being flexible and finding alternatives when traditional routes are arbitrarily closed. As always, thanks for coming along for the ride. If you found value in this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more off-road adventures. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please keep in mind, this is a self-funded channel, so I would greatly appreciate if you could help me out by sharing, liking and subscribing. And if you can, please consider head over to Patreon or buy me a coffee, and with the equivalent of a cup of coffee or two per month, you can really help me making these videos. Thanks a lot for watching and see you along the tracks.